Hey, greetings YouTube, performance reviews where I give you the technician's point of view. And if you're new to the channel, definitely check out the rest of our catalog. I've put quite a bit into the YouTube channel and what's available. So today I've got the Roboclean, and I would encourage you to check out my previous video on the Roboclean review on the vacuum side. But today we're going to talk about the extractor side of the Roboclean. Now, I've never used the Roboclean as an extractor, so I'm not too familiar with kind of how to do this, so bear with me. But I want to do a demonstration before I send it back to its rightful owner. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to vacuum this section of carpet, and it's a low pile of carpet, which should make it pretty easy to steam clean. And then it also has a mop feature. So I've got my Saltillo tile here, and it's winter. As you can see, there's plenty of stains and things for it to soak up. So we're going to really put it to its test and see how it does. I guess the first thing to do is to fill the water basin. What I'm going to do, you notice there's two basins here. I've got some Procyon, and I'll put a link to that video where I explain what Procyon is and where to get it. But that's what I'll be using as a cleaner. Now, I'm looking at this, and there is a notch right here that shows me how full I can fill this. So we're going to fill that with hot water. And excuse the mess around this sink, folks. This is a utility sink of mine, and that's all it's ever used for in my shop and stuff. So it's a little dirty. Alright. So there's the water there with the Procyon mixed in it. We're also going to put water in the basin because we're going to use it as a vacuum first. I'll explain this as well. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-vacuum with this machine. And just like I've showed in previous videos, this has a nice little remote to turn everything on and off right here. And this goes true anytime you're using any sort of extractor. You always want to make sure you thoroughly vacuum. It makes a big difference. Turn the power head off. Alright, now we're going to use the bare floor tool and see how it does. Alright, it's now conversion time. We're going to convert the machine from a vacuum to the extractor. I'm going to pull the high voltage hose off, and now we pull the remote off. So that part's pretty unique to the machine. So let's open up this box and get some of the goodies out of here and show you how this works. So as I stated before, I'm going to use a different chemical just for the sake of expediency, and I don't want to open a new bottle just for this little demo. We have this hose. We have the extractor wand. Then I've got the manual here. So the thing I was curious about in the manual is if it says anything about leaving the water basin empty or full, and I just don't see anything about that. Close the latches on the body. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's interesting. So we're going to set this aside, and we're going to get to conversion. So I have it set up for hardwood floor right now. What's interesting is all the button locks on this are on the back, not on the front. We're going to do the carpet area first because that's what I want to do. So putting all this together is quite interesting that there's this much to put together on any machine that you'd sell to any consumers, really. All right, there's the jet. Oh, okay. I see why these clips come off so easily. You use the clips for the electrical cord and this tube. That's interesting. All right, put that on there. Grab our solution hose. And first thing we're going to do when we convert this, we're going to put the remote in the solution hose. And you'll notice that there's a jet right here that lines up for the pump. And let's see. No electronics change when I put this on, so I don't think there's a sensor that it knows, which I think means you could accidentally turn the pump on. Also going to put this on here, like so. And I'm going to empty the water basin out. I don't see that that's going to be necessary. Give you a good look of what I vacuumed up beforehand. Maybe tilt the camera down. Yucko. Maybe that's what they mean by auxiliary water. So we're going to just dump that. Now hooking this up is not exactly as straightforward as it should be. Alright, maybe it is. Alright, got the machine here. Now we're going to hook up that. That doesn't seem like a super tight seal. Oh, alright, so there's like a quick connect here that just connects in. And we are set to go. Okay, let's try the extraction here on this little patch of carpet. It's just under a square meter, so we're not actually going to do a huge area with this, but just to demonstrate how it works. And what's interesting about this is there's no trigger on the handle. You're actually going to turn the water on and off completely with the button right here. That's actually what's going to trigger that. So let's get it going. Yeah. That is so weird. Alright, so I've got the hard floor squeegee on, and we're going to see how this works. Now, a real tricky thing I've noticed about using this machine is, unfortunately, there's a delay when you hit the electronic button to turn the pump on and off. So let's see how it works as a mop. Okay, folks, well, I've finished mopping, for lack of a better word, extracting, I guess, this floor, and it's very mixed. It's dry in some areas, wet in some areas, but it did a lot better than it did with the extraction on the carpet, which really surprised me because this machine doesn't have a whole lot of power. I thought it would need more power. So a couple things. There's a quick disconnect right here. So we're going to do that. And we're going to pull that off. I want to explain to you how much power this machine has. So we're going to do that real quick. And we're going to use just a vacuum gauge here. So let's turn her on. Full power. So that's the sealed vacuum on here. About 60. As much as your mom's old Electrolux, or probably grandma for some of you. So not a whole lot. Usually with a carpet extractor, you want like 80, 100 plus. Some of the commercial units are like 150. So that's a little disappointing in terms of power. But again, I knew all that coming into this rodeo. Now, removing some of this, let's see what we got in here. All right, well that just came out. And the extraction rate is actually pretty good. So let's bring the camera closer. Well, it's time for cleanup now. So we're going to separate the basin, show you what's in there. Kind of what that looks like, super dirty. It's hard to believe all that was on my bare floor and that little piece of carpet. Now something I could see is becoming a problem is when you take this off, you need to set this somewhere. I almost dumped that in the toilet. That wouldn't have been fun. But yeah, I see like grit and stuff down there. So that actually is really impressive. And we went through almost all of the solution. So really small tank in terms of extraction. Both the extraction pickup part and the output part of that. I guess only one thing left to do with that. Well, that sure is a crowded picture. So my impressions after using this as an extractor is it's like a nice feature. I wouldn't trust this machine even over like a Rent-A-Rug Doctor in terms of its carpet extraction. But if you're just doing like an area rug or like one room with carpet or two, you could get by. I definitely thought that this rubber squeegee attachment worked much better than I thought it would. So I was really impressed by that. So for hard floor, that would be nice. I wouldn't want to use this on wood, but tile, that sure is nice. It seemed to have gotten in the grout as well. One thing I wanted to note, because the machine doesn't have a whole lot of extraction, the nozzle's been made thinner. And we've seen this trick before on certain other vacuum brands. So that's kind of nice. That helps concentrate the suction. Now the big pain of doing all this and having one machine is I now have to convert it back, which means the wet wand and dry wand are the same part. I have to take all these conversions and do all this stuff, which if you're an engineer or a Kirby owner, you're used to, that would be just fine by you. But for me, it's a bit much and a bit much of an experience. I'm glad I experienced it. A big thank you to Miss Daniele for letting me borrow this machine. I'm going to go ahead and rinse it out. Now, one thing I want to point out before we end this video is you never want to store a water machine on the basin. You always want to store it off like so. And a lot of times you want to rinse out the basin. So as always, thanks for watching our Roboclean extractor video. Give this video a thumbs up, even better share. And if you really like what we're doing, please check out our Patreon page.